Hey y'all are tuned in We Are Jersey Magazine. Y'all are here with Melissa, and this is LBezzle Music, the man behind BillionBarzClub, and also Lionsgate Album. What's going on?
What's up, man? Thank you for having me.
Of course. Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
So what's going on? Like, you know what? I want to take it back to the history before we even talk about what's out and what's new. What is it that even got you started in music in the first place?
Oh man, my spiritual awakening really got me into music. I love music since I was growing up. You know, Notorious B.I.G., Tupac, all them influences. But mainly at 27, I lost everything. I was creative, so I knew I had to use my voice. I had to use my design skills and everything. God spoke to me, and after that, music just started flowing out, more songs, more personal stories, and that's how everything started. And God has, everything to me. Jesus Christ is my Lord, and we be moving Christically, positively, and trying to change the game from what it is now. It's so negative and so derogatory, and we're here to rewrite the story.
Okay.
That's what I'm here to do.
Most definitely. Basically bring that, and positivity and that goodness to rap and to music, right? So I know that at some point, and especially when you had that turning point and took music more seriously, you just said you wanted to go all in and you did a whole cross-country tour, right? Let's talk about that. That kind of like what was the catalyst, for basically what you are today, right?
Yeah, definitely blew me up. So I was at a job I didn't really like. It was coming down to the point where do I stay, do I leave? And I was talking to one of my friends at the time, and he was like, yo, let's put together a tour. Let's see what we can do. We know what we can do in New Jersey. Let's see what we can do on the road. So I tapped my brother Nicky Strings, got the manager, got a photographer, and we got a camper, and got a truck, and we hit the road. Got all our merch and everything like that, a whole bunch of just new things that we never really dove into. We started from New Jersey, we drove right to California, right to LA. We performed in Virginia, we stopped in Texas for about 2 weeks or so. Texas is pretty fun. If you ever got a chance to go to DeSean in Texas, we were over there, did a lot of performances in Texas, especially outside. Just touching the people, touching the crowd. And then ultimately, LA was the final destination. We got out there, we were at Venice Beach, all over LA. I met Kalani out there. She was getting ice cream, and I just rolled up on her. She has a hoodie of mine, so it's pretty cool.
That's cool, shout out to Kalani.
Yeah, shout out to Kalani, man. She has a glow like no other. I've never seen anything like that. And we performed over 100 places. Definitely was an experience because a lot of times we didn't have a lot of the things that we needed. So we had to go out and get it, and we got it. And we found out how powerful manifestors we were, trying to figure out how to get certain things. And sometimes we just felt right on that. People will come out and help us, and all types of things. So it was crazy. It was a roller coaster ride. It was ups and downs. It was crazy, but it was great though.
That's dope. That's dope. So what was the biggest takeaway from it?
Oh man. My biggest takeaway from that is honestly, no matter what happens, just dive in. Like we dove in head first. And regardless of, negative things are gonna happen regardless of those, it was the most beautiful experience. And I encourage everybody to just dive in and figure it out after. Find it out after.
Right, take that leap of faith, figure it out later.
Take a leap of faith because you will win. Once you decide, the universe follows right behind you. So just decide.
Right.
Decided. So.
That's so cool. And like in the midst of it all, you had also, which is a very fun fact too, you have partnered and made a song with the Department of Healthcare in New Jersey, correct?
Yes.
Let's talk about that.
Yeah. So the NJPCA, that was the branch. They had contracted me to do a health mashup to help bring what they're doing to the minority communities. So sadly, minority communities don't get healthcare like that. Thank God, at the time we had Barack Obama was the president, so we had Obamacare, doing things to help out them. So wanted to do a health mashup. So pretty much a beat that the crowd would know. It was an older crowd. You know, these are health officials. So we chose Crisscross Jump, and I wrote what I felt everything that they did. So all the FQHC centers that they had, all the services that they provided was all part of the song. So people actually knew everything that you did and brought awareness to them. And I performed it in AC. So they got me a hotel room, they helped my transportation and everything. Yeah, oh yeah, yeah, they hooked me up. And it wasn't no like lower, it was a nice room, like, you know, so it was cool, like, you know, just to experience that, like, you know, you really feel like, you know, who you are, like, oh man, I really am a rapper, like, I'm really out here, you know, like, it certifies that. And went out there, did it, it was about 400 people at the conference, and it went great. I got dancers, shout out to Quay and his team. They definitely came out and got lit with me, and we brought awareness to something very, very important, which is health. Health is wealth.
Period.
Take care of yourself.
Always. Very important. Okay. And so that's very dope, and that's important work too.
Thank you.
And I also want to, you know, just piggyback onto what we were speaking on earlier, which is you're the man behind BillionBarzClub, right? Let's tell everybody what even, you know, inspired for the inception of it.
So sadly, like most rap showcases, they get shut down. But it wasn't, you know, it wasn't terrible, because every time something, you know, one door closes, another one opens. So I started off doing single release parties. I dropped a single a month on the 7th as well. So 7 is a very special month as well. So 7th of every month I was dropping a single. We would go to the Green Turtle, I would have a showcase, and you know, the whole city was support. It was great. We had drinks, we had raffles, vendors, and everything like that. Then eventually that, you know, was growing crazy, so we had to move. We went to Seat Burger, and that's when I teamed up with another artist, Nicky Strings, who was on tour with me, and we did the Bars and Burgers show. Shout out to Dan, Seat Burger at the time, and we did it kind of like the same thing, but this time we were adding performances. So we had performance slots and we had vendor slots, and we were kind of, you know, figuring out a structure and everything like that. We had about 2 or 3 shows there, and then space was, you know, getting a little tight, and then that was the end of that. Some time went by, and this was actually right when COVID hit. Well, after COVID hit, I was developing the BillionBarzClub show. Me and Nicky Strings were actually talking about doing something, and then I eventually just ran with it. During COVID, this came about, and I wasn't gonna let COVID stop me. I was getting stopped in every aspect of life, and I was so tired. You know, when you just like, you know, I'm persevering, I want to be consistent with this. And we started October 2020, then they liked it in November, December, started doing a monthly thing, and it was mainly to have a showcase with a controlled crowd, because I have experienced discrimination with rap, and people were not wanting specific crowds to be in certain areas, and I said I'm gonna change that. And I did, and it happens, and that's why BillionBarzClub is a high frequency music showcase based in New Jersey. And you don't have to leave the state. The hub is here, and the hub is building. And you don't have to go to New York, you don't have to go to Florida, you don't have to go to California to do music. You want to stay right here. And that's another reason why I want to keep it local.
That's right. Right in your home, right in your backyard.
$1,000,000.
Period. And like, let's talk about your new album, Lionsgate. You even have the artwork on your back, right?
Oh yeah. You know, well, something. Lionsgate out on all streaming platforms right now. Oh man, I can talk endlessly about this. So I dropped no music in 2021 because I was working on it. Okay. I was working on this. People used to hit me up like, oh, you're not dropping a single. No, I'm not dropping a single. Why not? Don't worry about why not. Yeah.
Dropping that.
Yeah, and I love being like that exclusive secret artist that like not not even some of my close friends know what I'm doing.
Okay.
So it's cool. But Lionsgate came about by I linked up with Tate Modern, show me some beats. Incredible. Shocked. Just shocked. I sat there for 2 days and went on his BeatStars and listened to every single thing. Like, that's what I do. I don't care how many beats you have.
Yeah.
200, 300, I'm gonna take those days and just straight listen. And the song Eastside that I did was just the number one hit on the album. It was the first song I came up with. I was in my car, just chilling. I smoke, write my songs and everything, get the element, get the song. And I came up with that song, and I was just like, this is it. This is it right there. I can take this. Not only is it gonna get streamed and played, but I can use this.
Right.
And then I heard more beats, and I was like, oh, like this goes with this goes with this. I was like, oh, this could be an album. Okay, so I started this body work in January, towards the end of December, but January of this year was really the main writing and crafting of everything. I got all the beats from him, and also started to get into the creative aspect of everything, and that song came, 6 more came right after that. It's a 7-track album. I hit my boy Anarch V, shout out to Anarch V, he did my artwork. And my boy Elevate Minds, he did the sound engineering on the album. The recording process was crazy. I recorded in the middle of a bamboo forest.
What?
Yeah.
I was not expecting that.
Yeah, you're not gonna expect that.
Bamboo forest?
Yeah, bamboo forest. My homie's crib, really, really nice. And he has really a bamboo forest around his house. So it was really just really spiritual and just really intimate. Recorded the album, he mixed and mastered everything. Some of these sessions are real, and I sit into all my sessions. Like, I don't play with my mix and mastering. Like, I don't care how long it takes. This, and we're gonna make sure it's great. And put it together. We dropped it on my birthday, August 14th.
Okay.
Leo season.
Okay.
Know that. And the inspiration behind it was literally these 7 tracks are my life. Like, everything that I've talked about in these songs, I've experienced, I've lived it, and I try to put a really big spiritual backing on, whatever happens, spirit comes first. So whatever happens spiritually, that's what manifests in the physical. That's my message, what I'm trying to get people to turn on to, and to find your inner power and your inner strength. Also, the name Lionsgate goes back to a 3-part dream that I actually had. Not only, is it a Lionsgate portal energy that we all know about universally, but I had a dream that I seen the giant gate with a lion crest on it. Somebody was banging violently behind it, trying to get out. I'm like, oh man, what's going on here? The next dream, I actually seen myself, I was bleeding, I was all beat up, and I looked behind me, and there was a gaping hole in the same gate that I saw somebody banging out. So I was like, oh, that was me, I seen.
Okay.
And then right after that, I pulled up to a island with all these lions, and just, I'm like, there's something about lion energy, and, the Lion of Judah. And that's what everything went back to. And when you look at everything, if you don't find your inner power, your inner strength, you're gonna fall for everything. Stand for something or you're gonna fall. And I'm here to bring out the inner lion. So that's why I like it.
Wow, that's very, very deep and meaning. Wow. So y'all heard it here, okay? So which is the song that's closest to you? Because obviously this is a very deep and personal body of work. Which of these are the ones that are closest to you?
Yeah, so there's 2 songs that are actually really close to me. Eastside is the hottest song to me, but lyric-wise, I have to go with my intro track, which is Lyra's intro, and then the second track, which is How Many Times, because that really, everything I said in those 2 songs embodies what I am. Everything that I like, everything that I hate, everything I want to push you on, all the things that I've experienced growing up as a kid, and things that I've deprogrammed from and unlearned and relearned. Especially dropping off your toxic traits. I have a song there called Toxic Masculinity, and just dropping off all your toxic traits and shedding your outer layers and bringing your true essence out is what was embodied in
So comparing this body of work to your past and previous ones, what would you say is the biggest difference, even especially with the creative process?
So the creative process was a little more zoned in, and the cool thing is, like with this, it's like more of a team effort. So it's like, you gotta make sure your team is good and make sure that y'all are working all in the same tandem. So what makes this different is this is my first body of work. It's my first album.
Okay.
I dropped 7 other singles before then, and it's the process is different now. Like before, I used to like get a beat on YouTube, not really know the person. I brought a beat that was sold to somebody else before, and they didn't tell me, international producers, and just writing a song, recording it, and just figuring certain things out in the studio after you write the song. That's what I used to do with my singles. But when I was doing my album, I noticed that I was way more in depth about my writing. I knew what my ad-libs were. I knew what this was. I knew who I wanted to work with. And I knew the producer. Like, he actually lives around the corner from me. It's funny.
Right.
So I was like, yo, and it made me think, like, I'm not going on YouTube anymore. I'm done. I'm only working with people who I can see, who I can interact with, who I can touch. I can see you. And I believe the art and the creativity is going to come 1,000-fold more that way than just, all right, I want this one. What do I send you?
Yeah, for sure. And so, what can we expect now moving forward? We have visuals for the album?
Visuals are coming soon.
Coming soon?
Yes. I am shooting a video for Eastside.
Okay.
And it's gonna be, it's gonna be a whole party. So
be
definitely
epic.
y'all come out to that. It's gonna be crazy. I'm working on the second body work.
Okay.
Shout out to my brother Supreme Key. He's gonna be producing that whole entire project. And I am on a couple songs, so I'm featured on a couple people's songs.
So stay tuned for those.
Oh yes, one in particular that I'm very, very excited for. There's an artist out here, her name is Luca, and she's a singer. And we just performed the song that I'm featuring on with her called Sometime on Friday at BillionBarzClub 13, my 1-year anniversary show. And we're gonna shoot a visual for that, so that's coming.
Make sure y'all stay tuned for that.
Stay tuned for that. Also, me and SB are going to, remember SB? We're going to Florida, to Miami, from October 15th to the 18th to shoot a video for our new song that just dropped called Poolside Problems. So that was the song that dropped right after Lionsgate. We're shooting a visual for that. And so yeah, 3 visuals coming, an album coming. Yeah. A lot of things coming. Yeah, a lot of things coming.
And what could we expect for Billion Bars?
Oh, November 5th.
November 5th.
That's the next show. That's BillionBarzClub 14. And then December 3rd is going to be the 15th once we're going to close the year out, right? And possibly get some people to come in and visit. Check it out.
That's huge. 1-year anniversary.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah.
All right, y'all heard it here first. We are Jersey Magazine. Again, my name is Melissa. This is LBezzle Music. And y'all make sure y'all follow him on all social media platforms. Stay tuned.
Let's get it.
We are Jersey. 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 We are Jersey.